Bobby Abreu was a fun player to watch. 6th year on the ballot. Do I believe he's gonna be a Hall of Famer? No, I don't. And here's my reason why. He kind of got mixed in with the steroids era. I should say. Um, Even though if you look at his stats, he wasn't much of a big bomb hitter. Yes, he can hit. He was a good hitter. But from what I've seen of him of highlights and hear about him and seeing him play and like home run derby and stuff, and he just seemed more of a runner. That's what I would look at him as. I would have a hard time, you know. I think I could get past the steroid thing. When yes, steroids is not good. It you know not great. Although if I had it say one thing, if he was in the Hall, if I had a chance to vote for him, I would say, well, I look at him more of a runner than a big bomb hitter. He doesn't stand out to me as wow big hitter. To me, he played the game, and did he play in wrong some areas? Yes. But he also was a good player, and I appreciate the way he played the game, even though, yes, it's kind of tough in some areas, but I will always remember Bobby Abreu, the Philadelphia Phillies player, among all the other teams that he played in. I mean, yet we can see here they play for the Angels, Dodgers, the Mets, and Houston Astros. He is in the Philadelphia Phillies Hall of Fame. And he's also in the Venezuela Hall of Fame. So either way, he's gonna be fine. Um, will he be remembered in the Hall? I don't quite know. You know, that's a whole different topic. But I think he's fine for where he's at for being a Hall of Famer in Philadelphia and Venezuela. That's where I would, more say that's just good for him. I'm not gonna, count on him being a Hall of Famer, but at the same time, I wouldn't be, mad or heartbroken that he got in or didn't get in. Like I said, this is his 6th year on the ballot, and you know, yeah, he's kind of one of those players that kind of had a hot run for a while and then kind of just fell down. And a lot of Hall of Famers kind of need to have a good year consistently. Bobby Abreu kind of had those up and down years, you know. So, and I haven't heard of him till lately in the Hall of Fame ballot. So that's my thought on him. The next one will be going to Carl Beltran. You know what? I'm gonna say yes. I would vote for Carl Beltran. He was a good player, you know, a hardworking player, and played the game well. One of the things, and I haven't heard much about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of the reasons he didn't get in the Hall, and I know this is his 3rd year on the ballot, is because of um, the Houston Astros scandal that happened in 2017. Because he was going to be a manager for the New York Mets, and then he resigned shortly after that news hit the headline of Houston. So I think that's the one thing that's going to kind of bite him in the butt. But I think if they can get past that, in my book, yeah, Carl Beltran is a Hall of Famer. He played the game well. And if you look at stats, he was a player. Is it good enough to be in the Hall? I don't know. You know, I don't. I'm not a writer for baseball. I'm just a fan and just doing this for fun. But in my opinion, I think he deserved it. But if he didn't make the Hall, what team do I think um, should make him a Hall of Famer? I would have to say the the Mets and the Royals. Those are the teams that mostly the Mets. I think of Carl Beltran. I think of the Mets and the Royals. That's my that's just my own opinion. Thought on them. I like them, so I would say yes. Mark Burley. I like Mark Burley. He's a good player. Although after he left the White Sox, he kind of went downhill. This is his fifth year on the ballot. Would I be disappointed that he doesn't make it this year? Not really. I wouldn't be surprised. He is a Hall of Famer in the Chicago White Sox organization. So I think either way, he's gonna be fine. I'm not really worried about him being a Hall of Famer or not. Is he Hall of Fame worthy? I kind of have some mixed feelings. I'm not just gonna, you know, lean on one perfect game and a World Series to make him a Hall of Famer. I need a little bit more than that. Was he a good player? Yes, he was a good player. And he pretty much carried the team, you know, to the World Series. He was a good pitcher. He just seemed like a good player to be around in the clubhouse. But as much as I like Mark, I would have to say no. You know, but I still respect him for the kind of player that he is. Carlos Donano, I don't really know much about um, him. It's his first year on the ballot. Yet I seen him play a little bit. Um, I don't really know what to say about him being a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry for all the Rocky fans out there, but he doesn't seem like a Hall of Famer to me. He doesn't stand out. You know, I question a lot of things why he's on the list. You know, but I can't really say much. I mean, here's his stats. Oh, I didn't show Mark Burley's stats. Here's Mark Burley's stats, and in case anyone didn't get a glimpse of it, here's Carlos' stats. Um, I can't really say much. I'm sorry, people. I didn't do much research on this player, but also I don't really remember him much. Yes, I did watch some of the Rocky games when like Matt Halliday or Todd Heckel and Jeff Francis and some of the other guys, but I don't know much of him. I can't really say. For me, if he did make the Hall, I would kind of question why he's in the Hall. I'm not a baseball expert. Maybe I'm maybe I'm missing something in the stats and that I'm not seeing quite well. Yeah, it's his batting average, you know, is consistent, but I don't know if I can really count on him being a Hall of Famer. Curtis Granderson, I am gonna say yes. And no, I am not being biased just because I met the guy in Chicago. Nice guy, by the way. Although, yeah, he is a good player. I always had respect for him. He played the game with class, and I always thought he did a good job. In my book, I think he deserved to be a Hall of Famer. So yeah, he got my vote. Here's his stack, and yeah, that's my thought on him. Now, if he doesn't make the Hall, I would more so like to see him be a Hall of Famer in Detroit. You know, when I think of Curtis Jansen the most, I think of Detroit Tigers. Out of all the teams that he played, I remember him playing for the Mets and the Brewers, and but all the other teams I see on the list, I don't really remember him playing there. I'm sure, yeah, he did play there. I just don't really, you know, remember him playing there. I do remember him playing for the Mets and the Tigers. I remember when he got traded, and or remember when he played for the Brewers. But you know, as far as any other team, I would kind of question, you know, them retiring or making him a Hall of Famer. I think the Tigers should. I would like it to happen, but you know, I'm sure they got other players that are more important right now. And here's his stack. Here's Flex. First year on the ballot. You know, I know I might get some crap for this. And I know I'm kind of being biased based on my own personal thought on these votes. And that's fine. Comment below who you think can be a Hall of Famer, who would you like to be a Hall of Famer, and why. I think Flex Pitt, uh, to me, I would say yes. I would make him a Hall of Famer. I thought he was a good pitcher. I believe he played for, wow, he played for one team his whole career. Hey, pretty cool. You know, I only seen him pitch a few times, so I can't really, you know, um, yeah, pitching, winning a lot, you kind of question a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he's being held on the ballot for a couple more years. I do believe he's a Hall of Famer in Seattle, so either way, he's gonna be fine. I'm not really worried about him. Troy Hunter. I like Troy Hunter. I don't think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. I believe, um, even though it's his 50 on the ballot, and he was a fun player to watch, he was a good player to watch. I believe he would be just fine as a Minnesota Twins Hall of Famer. I don't really see him Hall of Fame worthy. That's just my own thought. You know, I, Minnesota, like I said, Minnesota Twins would be the one team I would like to see him be a Hall of Famer for. All the other teams, maybe the Tigers and maybe the Angels, but when I think of Troy Hunter, I think of Minnesota Twins. Adam Jones. I like Adam Jones. He was a good player. I would say yes. He he played the game consistent, and he played every day like it was his last day. It seemed like. Although if he doesn't make the Hall, I would say Baltimore should make him a Hall of Famer. You know, his numbers were consistent, but you know, after he left Baltimore, his career kind of went downhill. And like I was saying earlier about Bobby Abreu, kind of need to have a consistent career. And Adam Jones, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't make the Hall because of that. Not having a consistent career, you know, all the way. But then there's other players that don't have consistent seasons. But he didn't seem like he really made a comeback either. He kind of just went downhill after Baltimore. He became a star when he came to Baltimore, and then went downhill after. I would still say yes. Andrew Jones, another Jones, and it's his eighth year on the ballot. I like him. He was a good player. I know some people might, be annoyed with me saying that. I would say yes. He was a good hitter. Look at his stats here, guys. Almost 500 home runs. I know we're not close to 500, but, good hitting. And he was just a Atlanta Brave legend. I would say yes. I would vote him in the Hall. Ian Kinsler. I like Ian, but he doesn't really stand out to me as a Hall of Famer. As much as I like him, I don't think he would make it, even though it's his first year on the ballot. I wouldn't be surprised if, his voting kind of just ramped up over the years and he made in. Although I would much rather him be a Hall of Famer for Texas Rangers. When I think of Ian, I think of Texas Rangers. I know my friend Jake would like that. But would that make him a Hall of Famer? And a National Baseball Hall of Fame? No. I would be kind of little if I tried Platt in the Hall. I'd be like, okay, but kind of had an up and down career. I feel like, especially after he left the Rangers. Yeah, he was still good with the Kiters. Not bad with the Padres and Red Sox, but he didn't seem to really stand out like he used to when he was with the Rangers. Russell Martin. First year on the ballot. I'm not happy to say no. Because I didn't really see him play that much. So I can't really say, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer in my book, So he just, I remember when he went to Toronto. I remember when he was on the Pirates a little bit. I don't remember him playing for the Dodgers that much. I want to believe like when he got traded to Toronto, he signed with Toronto. My memory a little blurry in that area, but since I don't really remember him playing that much or remember seeing him, I may have to say no. I'm sorry, guys. Brian McCann. I'm gonna say yes. I like Brian McCann. He was a good player. I would love to see him become a manager or a coach somewhere in the majors or independent ball somewhere or a minor league. Another player I want to say he might be around the whole steroid era, not steroid era, the Houston Astros scandal. Apologize about that. But he's a good player. He was a good catcher. Not many catchers can play the game well. But he's one of the good ones. and I like watching him play. He played the game well. He played um, the game in a way that made it enjoyable. And he was a good hitter, good catcher. He seemed like he had a great mind on baseball. I would say yes. Brian McCain, yes. Justin Padilla definitely had my vote. He was a good Red Sox player consistently. Unfortunately, near the end of his career, he's kind of slowing down, but you kind of can't blame him for the age and all the injuries that he had over the years. So I would say, I would, even though with that, I would still say yes to Dustin. I feel like he deserves to be a Hall of Famer. I hope the Red Sox retire his number and make him a Hall of Fame and their organization. That would be great. And yeah, that's all I have to say with him. Here's his stats. He played consistent, almost batting average 300. That's pretty good. He wasn't much of a big bomb hitter, but he was more of a runner. And he can run. He was a good runner. For a shortstop or third base. It's been a while since I've seen him play. I know he moved around quite a bit. Andy Pettitte. I might get some crashed on this one. But you know what? I thought Andy Pettitte was a good pitcher. I like him. You know, even though it kind of, tough to watch him play well with the New York Yankees. I know some people want it. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to spread bad rumors, but I thought I heard something because the whole steroid thing or something happened with PED or I'm not quite sure, but I heard something. But you know what? I would still say yes on Andy Pettitte. I know it's a little bit tough weight, but he just seemed like he deserved it. I'm not gonna hold him to it, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why something involved steroids, but also I think he would be fine as a New York Yankees Hall of Famer. Yes, I remember seeing, I don't know if I seen him pitch for Houston, but I definitely remember him at the Yankees. So I think the Yankees should, make him a Hall of Famer. Uh, Hanley Ramirez, I didn't really see him play much. Although I know this is his first year on the ballot, I'm just gonna say no. I'm sorry. Like Russell Martin, I didn't see him play much, so I can't really say much about this guy. I mean, here's his stats. This what it looked like. His stats were, consistent. But from what I've been hearing, and I did a little research on him, he kind of had a downfall after Florida. So I don't think he did make it. If Miami wants to retire his number or make him a Hall of Fame, I'll be kind of like, okay. And you know what? Speaking of that, Miami doesn't have a retired number yet. I don't even know if they have a Hall of Fame. But if they did, you know, this would be kind of a funny way to start it out. But yeah, that's the way I feel. Red Sox, I remember him playing well there, but I don't remember him really standing out. Dodgers, I don't remember him playing there. I didn't see him there. Indians, I didn't see him playing in Cleveland. I think that's where he started, maybe, but I don't remember all that. So, with all that, I'm just gonna have to say no. Manny Ramirez, 9th year on the ballot, and I know a lot of people kind of cracked on me about, the whole steroid there, and him being, walking with a chip on his shoulder or this and that. I like Manny. If you look at his stats here, he was good. I know some people would say steroid or something, but was he a big hitter? Yes. Was he a good player? Yes. Does he have some attitude? Probably. You know, but he kind of fight through it. But he also helped the Red Sox win a World Series back then, so it's kind of hard to hate him. But also, he seemed like a cool player. I know some would say, well, you can't vote for someone in the Hall just because they're a cool player. But I think it'll be up for the writers and everybody if they're pretty all if his stats is good enough, you know, to be in the Hall. But I would say yes. To me personally, you know, tough luck, people. But that's just my own opinion. You know, if I know Rudy, I've seen him pitch a couple times. I can't really say for sure that I see him pitch much. I just remember seeing like little glimpse of him in highlights, but since I didn't really see him pitch, I don't really have much to say. I mean, I know he's like a closer, a reliever, but yeah, ERA, mm, win and loss doesn't look too pretty to me. But I would have to say no. You know, I just don't really have confidence in him being a Hall of Famer. I can't say much. Outside readers. I know I'm into a lot of craft on this one too. I like A-Rod. I've seen him play for New York. No other team than that. From what I remember, my childhood, he was the Yankees. I know he played for the Rangers. I know he played for Seattle. I know he did the whole steroid thing. Although, um, yeah, his numbers are pretty amazing. But do I think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer? I don't think so. His numbers look like it, but ninth year on the no 4th year on the ballot, and even though I know he apologized about the whole steroid thing and or whatever he was on, it was making him play really well. I don't think so, but I would say yes, maybe, but I kind of mixed feelings on this one. You know, I think either way, people will always remember A-Rod, you know, because one, he done Fox Sports, he everywhere on TV a lot. I think either way, if he didn't make the Hall, he'll be fine, you know. So that's just my thought on him. Francisco Rodriguez. I didn't see him play much. From what I do remember of him, I remember him playing for the Brewers and the Mets, the Angels. I don't think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Although, if he was gonna be a Hall of Famer for a team, I believe the Angels could retire or make him a Hall of Famer. Here's the stats I mean, yeah, to a good relief, good closer. I think he up there in the record for one of the all-time saves. So that's why I understand that, you know, him being on the list for the Hall of Fame ballot. But I can't say much besides that. Jimmy Rollins. I like Jimmy Rollins. He was a good player, fun to watch. Do I think he can be a Hall of Famer? I question that one. Although, you know, can't go by popularity. I mean, here's your stats and consistent. But from what I remember seeing of him after he left Philly, his career kind of took a deep dive. You know, but I will say, if he were to be a Hall of Famer for any team, it would be Philadelphia. He is a Philadelphia legend, won the World Series with them and everything. So I would say he deserves a Hall of Fame there. Didi Abathia. First year on the ballot. He was a good player. Do I think he deserved to be a Hall of Famer? I didn't do much research on him, to be honest. You know, I was trying to, I meant to do research on him, but I didn't. Um, I kind of have mixed feelings on this one. I I wouldn't be mad if he did the Hall. In some way, I feel like he kind of deserved it. Although, something doesn't really seem to fit me and be in the Hall. I'm not quite sure. He did do great when he was with the Yankees and Milwaukee and Cleveland. So he pretty much had a, consistent career. I know near the end he was kind of falling off because of, some drinking problems I heard. But then he got better. And, but he was a consistent player, a player that you could pretty much depend on, to win the game. A lot of pitching, you know. ERA, good. So, Didi Abathia, I would be more okay with him being a Hall of Famer for the Yankees and Cleveland as the individual Hall of Fame. I mean, there yet. National, I'm just gonna have to say no. Kaduki, yes. I I would definitely make him a Hall of Fame. I think he'd win the writer's vote. He was a culture fan. I can't get the word out. He was a culture favorite. A lot of fans love him. You know, famous player from Japan. Pretty much opened the door for Japan players to come to the United States to play for MLB. His stats is unbelievable. I believe he's going to be a Hall of Famer, so my vote, definitely yes, without a question. Troy Kadowski, first year on the ballot, I kind of have some mixed feelings, but I want to say yes. Not just because I like him and he's a good player. His batting average almost 300. Wasn't a big hitter, but you can tell he's consistent with the bat. And he was definitely a good runner, but also a good shortstop. So oh wow, I didn't know he played for the Yankees. I knew he went to Toronto. But, if he doesn't make the Hall, I believe Colorado Rockies should make him a Hall of Famer. He definitely deserved it. He was pretty much the face of the franchise over there in his time playing. So I would definitely say that. Do I think he's gonna be a Hall of Fame? No, I think he's gonna sit on the ballot for a while, for a few years, but I would definitely vote him. Chase, second year on the ballot. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be on the ballot for maybe 2 more years. I know some people might not like him because he kind of have a dirty attitude on the field, but he was in the game. He played the game like his life depends on it. He played the game like it was his last game, and I'm I will always remember Chase as a Philadelphia player. I think they should retire or make him a Hall of Famer. Um, I remember him playing for the Dodgers when he did some dirty stuff, but at the same time, I'm not gonna. I'm not really on board with him being a Hall of Famer. I would more say no, you know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the ballot for, you know, 2 more years before he's a Hall of Famer. That's just my thought. And here's the stats. Omar, something. 80 on the ballot. I'm not quite sure why. Um, he's still on the ballot. I know players can try after that. They're done. Um, I can't really. He doesn't really stand out to me as a Hall of Famer, in my own opinion. Like if you look at his numbers, yeah, he was a consistent player. I see him play for the White Sox, but I didn't really see him play for any of the other teams, so I can't really say much on him, so I'm just gonna have to say no. Billy Wagner, 10th and final year on the ballot. For the past couple years hearing about Billy Wagner, I feel like he deserved to be a Hall of Famer. With his pitching, I know some people might question his win and loss, but his ERA is good. He had 200. I mean, his day 422. Strikeout 1,196. So almost 2,000 strikeouts. You know, so I would say yes, he's a Hall of Famer in my book. David Wright, good player, second year on ballot. I would say yes, he's a Hall of Famer. He will always, to me, be a New York Mets legend. He played pretty much every game. It seemed like he was always playing. You know, batting average almost 300, 1,585 games. Wasn't a huge hitter, but he could hit home run. He could hit. He could run, and you know, so I would say yes, he's a Hall of Famer. Ben George or something. I like him as a player. Um, he was a consistent player. I don't think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. You know, he's kind of one of the players that I would be surprised if he made the Hall. But at the same time, it's like, okay, whatever. But if he was gonna be a Hall of Famer for any team, I feel like Tampa Bay Rays and the Royals and the Cubs should make him a Hall of Famer. But other than that, that's it. I don't really remember him playing for Oakland that much. I kind of do. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it to retire him, but I don't think all these teams in Kyone, but if I had to pick one, I would say the Rays or the Royals. Yeah, if I had to pick one, probably just the Rays. But, you know, they're the numbers and, yeah, consistent. And those are my Hall of Fame votes. And those are my thoughts on these Hall of Fame candidates. We will find out who will be a Hall of Famer next week, Tuesday night. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.